You paused. Out of thousands of videos, millions of voices calling for your attention. Something made you stop here, not by accident, not by chance, but because there is a part of you. Quiet, observant, always listening, that recognized something familiar in this moment. A resonance, a reflection of a question you have been carrying. Perhaps for years, perhaps your entire life. What if I told you that the restlessness you feel, the sense that something is missing, even when everything seems fine, is not a problem to be solved, but a signal to be understood? What if the confusion, the doubt, the quiet dissatisfaction with surface-level answers is not a flaw in you, but a sign of clarity trying to emerge? You are not broken. You are waking up. And this video is not here to give you answers. It is here to help you remember the questions only you can answer. Let me walk with you for the next few minutes, not as a teacher, not as a guide, but as someone who has sat in the same silence you are sitting in right now. There is a strange phenomenon that happens when you begin to see the world more clearly. At first it feels like freedom. You notice patterns. You see through shallow conversations. You recognize when people are performing rather than being present. You start to sense the difference between what is real and what is rehearsed. But then something unexpected happens. The clarity does not bring relief. It brings loneliness, because once you see, you cannot unsee, and the world around you continues as if nothing has changed. People still argue about things that feel trivial. They still chase validation from systems that were never designed to fulfill them. They still repeat the same cycles, expecting different results. And you are standing in the middle of it, all feeling like a stranger in a place you once called home. If this resonates with you, I want you to know something important. This isolation you feel is not a sign that you are broken, lost, or wrong. It is a sign that you have crossed an invisible threshold. A threshold that most people never notice because they are too distracted, too comfortable, or too afraid to approach it. You have entered the space between who you were told to be and who you actually are. And that space, as uncomfortable as it is sacred, because it is the only place where true transformation can occur. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding this space. They fill it with noise, with busyness, with other people's opinions, with goals that were handed to them rather than chosen by them, and there is no judgment in that. Survival often requires conformity. Safety often requires silence. But you are here because some part of you has decided that survival is not enough. That safety without truth is just a slower form of suffocation. So, let me ask you this. What have you been carrying that does not belong to you? What belief, what expectation, what version of yourself have you been holding on to because letting it go feels too uncertain, too vulnerable, too final? Take a breath. You do not need to answer out loud, but feel the weight of that question, because the journey we are about to take together begins with honest acknowledgement, not of what you want to become, but of what you have been pretending to be. We are taught from childhood that life is a journey toward arrival. Get the degree, get the job, get the relationship, get the house, get the recognition, as if happiness, fulfillment, and inner peace are destinations waiting at the end of a checklist. But something strange happens when you start checking those boxes. You achieve the goal. You feel a brief surge of satisfaction, and then, almost immediately, the emptiness returns. The question resurfaces, is this it? Is this what I have been working toward? And the world, instead of helping you sit with that question, immediately offers you a new goal, a bigger house, a better title, more followers, more money, more proof that you matter. And so the cycle continues, chasing, achieving, feeling empty, chasing again. But here is the truth that no motivational speech will tell you. Arrival is a myth, not because you cannot achieve things, but because achievement does not change the fundamental relationship you have with yourself. And if that relationship is built on proving, performing, or earning your worth, then no external accomplishment will ever feel like enough. This is not pessimism, this is liberation. Because once you stop chasing arrival, once you stop waiting for the moment when you will finally feel complete, you can start living from a different place. A place of presence, a place of curiosity, a place where your worth is not negotiable, not conditional, not dependent on anything outside of you. If you feel this in your soul right now, type 777 in the comments. Let the universe know you are ready. Let me share something personal. There was a period in my life where I had everything I thought I wanted: the career, the recognition, the stability, and yet I would wake up in the middle of the night with a feeling I could not name, not sadness, not anger, just a deep quiet, knowing that I was living someone else's version of success. I tried to fix it. I read the books. I followed the advice. I set new goals, but nothing worked because I was trying to solve the wrong problem. I thought I needed to achieve more. What I actually needed was to stop, to sit in the discomfort of not knowing, to let the old identity dissolve without immediately replacing it with a new one. And that process, that willingness to exist in the void without grasping for meaning, was the most terrifying and most liberating experience of my life. Because on the other side of that void, I did not find answers. I found clarity about what actually mattered to me. Clarity about what I had been performing versus what I genuinely valued. Clarity about the difference between ambition born from insecurity and purpose born from alignment. If you are in that void right now, if you are in the space where nothing makes sense and the old motivations have lost their power, do not rush out of it. Do not let anyone convince you that you are lost, depressed, or falling behind. You are not lost. You are shedding. And shedding always feels like loss before it feels like freedom. Here is something most people do not talk about. Your body has been trying to communicate with you for years, through tension in your chest when you are in the wrong environment, through exhaustion that no amount of sleep can fix when you are living out of alignment, through sudden clarity in moments of stillness that you immediately rationalize away because it does not fit the plan you have committed to. We call this intuition. But intuition is not mystical. It is not irrational. It is the accumulated intelligence of your entire system, your nervous system, your emotions, your subconscious patterns, communicating in a language that does not use words. And most of us have been trained to ignore it, to overwrite it, to dismiss it as impractical, emotional, or unreliable, because we live in a world that worships logic, productivity, and measurable outcomes. And intuition does not fit neatly into spreadsheets. But here is what I have learned. Every time I ignored my intuition in favor of what made sense on paper, I ended up in situations that looked good from the outside but felt hollow on the inside. And every time I honored it, even when I could not explain why, the path became clearer. Not easier, but clearer. Intuition is not about predicting the future. It is about recognizing resonance. It is about sensing when something aligns with your deepest values and when it does not. And the more you practice listening to it, the more precise it becomes. But here is the challenge. Intuition requires stillness. It requires space. It requires the willingness to sit with uncertainty without immediately searching for answers. And in a world that equates stillness with laziness and uncertainty with failure, that is a radical act. So let me ask you, when was the last time you sat in complete silence, without your phone, without distractions, without an agenda, and just listen to what was moving inside you. When was the last time you honored a gut feeling even though you could not logically justify it? When was the last time you chose alignment over approval? If you cannot remember, then you are not living from your center. You are living from the expectations, the conditioning, the inherited beliefs that were never truly yours to begin with. And the remedy is not complicated. It is just deeply uncomfortable because it requires you to stop, to create space, to listen, to trust what you hear, even when it contradicts everything you have been taught. This is not about rejecting logic or abandoning responsibility. This is about integrating the intelligence of your entire being, mind, body, and spirit, so that your decisions come from wholeness rather than fragmentation. Growth is not always about adding more. Sometimes it is about subtracting, about identifying what you have been carrying that was never yours to begin with and setting it down. We accumulate so much throughout our lives, beliefs about who we should be, stories about what success looks like, fears inherited from parents, teachers, society, and we carry them like armor, thinking they protect us, when in reality they prevent us from moving freely. Unlearning is the process of questioning everything you think you know, not to become cynical, not to reject all structure, but to distinguish between what is true for you and what you adopted because it felt safer than thinking for yourself. And this process is not intellectual. You cannot think your way out of conditioning. You have to feel your way through it. You have to notice when your body contracts in certain environments, when your energy drains around certain people, when your mind goes blank because you are performing rather than being present. Let me give you an example. For years I believed that productivity was the measure of my worth. If I was not creating, achieving, or moving forward, I was wasting time. And that belief kept me busy. It kept me distracted, but it also kept me disconnected from the deeper rhythms of my life. It was not until I allowed myself to rest, truly rest, without guilt, without justification, that I realized how much of my ambition was rooted in fear. Fear of being irrelevant, fear of being forgotten, fear of facing the quiet truth that I did not know who I was outside of what I produced. And when I unlearned that belief, when I stopped equating my worth with my output, something unexpected happened. I did not become lazy. I did not stop creating, but the quality of my work changed. It became more intentional, more aligned, more true, because I was no longer creating to prove something. I was creating because it felt like the natural expression of who I was. This is the power of unlearning. It does not make you passive. It makes you precise. It does not weaken you. It clarifies you, and it does not take away your ambition. It purifies it. So I invite you to ask yourself, what belief are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What story are you telling yourself about who you have to be, what you have to achieve, or how you have to live? That feels more like a cage than a compass. And once you identify it, do not fight it. Do not shame yourself for having believed it. Just acknowledge it. Thank it for trying to keep you safe, and gently, consciously set it down. There is a concept in ancient philosophy called eudaimonia. It is often translated as happiness, but that translation misses the depth. Eudaimonia is not about feeling good. It is about living in alignment with your highest nature. It is about acting from your center rather than reacting from your conditioning. And the path to eudaimonia is not about achieving more. It is about becoming more aware, more honest, more present, more willing to live in accordance with what you know to be true, even when it is inconvenient, unpopular, or difficult. This is not a destination, it is a practice, and the practice begins with simple questions. Does this decision align with my values, or am I choosing it because I am afraid of what others will think? Am I acting from clarity, or am I reacting from fear? Am I living my life, or am I living the life I think I am supposed to live? These questions are not comfortable, but they are necessary, because without them you drift, you conform, you optimize for safety instead of truth. And one day you wake up and realize that you have built a life that looks successful from the outside but feels empty on the inside. Living from your center requires courage, not the loud dramatic kind of courage, but the quiet, steady kind, the courage to say no when everything in you wants to say yes, just to avoid conflict. The courage to walk away from relationships, jobs, or identities that no longer fit. The courage to sit with uncertainty without filling it with distractions. And here is what no one tells you when you start living this way. Some people will not understand. They will call you selfish. They will say you have changed. They will project their own fears onto your choices, and that is okay because their discomfort is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a sign that you are no longer available to participate in patterns that do not serve you. But also something beautiful happens. You start attracting people who see you, not the performance, not the persona, but the truth of who you are, and those connections, rare as they may be, are worth more than 1,000 shallow relationships built on mutual avoidance. Living from your center is not about isolation. It is about integrity. It is about building a life where your inner world and your outer world are in harmony, where what you say, what you do, and what you value are aligned. And when you live this way, you do not need external validation to feel whole. You do not need constant stimulation to feel alive. You do not need to prove anything to anyone, because you know, deeply and quietly, that you are enough. So here we are. You have listened this far. You have stayed present through discomfort, through questions, through reflections that may have stirred something inside you. And now I want to offer you an invitation, not to follow me, not to adopt a new belief system, not to chase another external solution, but to turn inward, to start listening to the quiet voice that has been trying to reach you. To honor the intuition that you have been overriding, to trust that the confusion you feel is not a sign of failure, but a sign of transformation. This is not a 72-hour window. There is no urgency, there is no portal closing. There is only you here now with the choice to continue living unconsciously or to start living with intention. You do not need to make a dramatic change today. You do not need to quit your job, end your relationship, or move across the world. You just need to start noticing. Noticing when you are performing versus being present. Noticing when you are choosing out of fear versus choosing out of alignment. Noticing when your body is trying to tell you something that your mind is too busy to hear. And as you notice, you will start to see patterns. You will start to recognize where you have been giving your power away, where you have been living according to someone else's script, where you have been waiting for permission to be yourself. And slowly, with patience and compassion, you will start to reclaim those pieces, not all at once, not perfectly, but consistently. And that consistency, that commitment to your own truth, is what transforms everything. I created this video not to sell you something, not to manipulate you into subscribing, but because I believe that there are people out there, people like you, who are ready to stop performing and start living, who are ready to stop chasing and start aligning, who are ready to stop waiting for arrival and start being present. If that is you, if something in this video resonated, I invite you to continue this journey, not by subscribing out of obligation, but by choosing to surround yourself with reminders, voices, and perspectives that support your return to yourself. The work I share here is not about quick fixes or empty promises. It is about depth. It is about truth. It is about the slow, sacred process of becoming who you actually are beneath all the conditioning. And if that speaks to you, I would be honored to walk this path with you. Before you go, I want to leave you with one final thought. The answers you are looking for are not out there. They are not in another video, another book, another person. They are inside you, waiting to be remembered. And the only thing standing between you and that remembrance is your willingness to stop, to listen, and to trust what you hear. So take a breath, feel your body, notice what is present, and ask yourself quietly, honestly, what am I ready to let go of, and what am I ready to become? The journey is yours, the choice is yours, and the time, if you are ready, is now. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for having the courage to ask the questions that most people spend their entire lives avoiding. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Type 444 if you felt something shift inside you while watching this. Not your location, not a number. Just a word, a feeling, or a thought that surfaced as you listened. Let us witness each other's process. Let us honor the courage it takes to wake up. Until next time, stay true, stay present. And remember, you are not lost. You are finding yourself.